Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, the Legit Boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at YouTube.com/Steven Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, a little notify bell next to it, to make sure you always got your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. We've got a variety of reward tiers over there. Be sure to check it out. We've got bonus content. We've got all sorts of stuff. We're sitting here on the couch today, Larson.
Yeah, this is
This is great. What are you talking
been a
about?
terrible morning as far
This is
as
fantastic.
being productive. Steve's laptop's about to blow up. My laptop decides that it doesn't want any of the audio to work anymore.
All sorts of information out there says that if you have a laptop that's like bulging, don't use it. Take it in immediately and have that battery replaced, son. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm like, I can't use my laptop, and then for whatever reason, your laptop is...
Yesterday, we started to do some shooting with it, and it wasn't accepting the audio interface that I got for the sole purpose of trying to do audio on my machine.
This is complicated.
And now nothing, really. I can't record anything. Pro Tools isn't working.
What is going on with all that?
I don't know. I apparently have to... Oh, man, words can't express my frustration right now. Because, like, tonight I was going to go home and I was going to finish some music stuff I'm working on for the show.
Yeah.
And the Pro Tools ain't working. I can't do that.
You can't do anything, man.
Ugh.
Right. So, it's funny, though, because it reminded me of last year, like, well, it's probably a couple weeks ago last year, when WWE 2K19 came out. We had this whole like, all day long we're gonna stream 2K19. We're gonna do my career all the way through, and like I forget what the problem was, but we couldn't stream from here.
We had no internet. The internet was down.
Was it? Oh yeah, our internet was. Oh, that's when we were having like those big internet issues.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, we're missing out on a bunch of money because everybody's gonna love the stream. And let's go back to my house and do it because I got good internet there. So we took all the stuff that we needed, the PC, everything, back to my house, cramped up in one of my rooms there, and we're all sweating and stuff. And we made like $15.
It was $30
chats that
$30
day.
for like
Was it 30? As much as 30?
3 to 4 hours of streaming.
Yeah. So anyways, it's not that. At least all we had to do was go to the other room and fire up our pay-per-view stream.
Yeah, I know. Still,
So
I mean,
that's cool.
It's getting done, but nonetheless, it's frustrating when things just mysteriously stop working. It frustrates me to no end.
And on top of that, who's that? Kyle brings up 2K20. I actually downloaded 2K20 last night. I want in on Glitch Fest 2000. That's what I wanted to play, and I was like, man, I want to stream this, but my computer is.
You
it's
can't
like,
do it,
I'm
man.
not gonna do that. The thing's gonna
Can't
explode.
do it. Yeah, just get a new batteries from Amazon. I'll replace it.
No, man.
I've replaced batteries before.
No, I'm good.
It should just be a little compartment. You pop open and you just put a new battery in there.
I'm gonna go to the Geek Squad and just have them do it.
You're gonna overpay then.
What's that?
You're gonna pay way too much money.
No, my computer's gonna be totally fine. Where if I do it any other way, it's a roll of the dice, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
On your laptop is like on my laptop. I turn it over. There's a little thing I press. Battery pops right out. Put new battery in.
Okay, if it's not the kind of thing where I gotta screw.
Even that, that's not
yeah,
that
but still.
difficult.
Yeah, I'm not doing no. I'm not doing. I'm not unscrewing it. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
That's like you asking to cut my hair too. Which, by the way, I did that last night, and she cut way too much off.
Sure, let me do it. Anyway, I suppose we should talk about Raw. We're 4 minutes into this impending disaster.
Nobody cares about our issues, man. Nobody cares. This is super comfy. I'll be honest. This is super comfy.
It is comfy, but man, there's a great deal of discomfort in my mind right now because things aren't working like they should.
Could be worse.
Oh, it absolutely could be.
So, anyways, Raw last night. What'd you think?
It was fine. It was enjoyable. I wasn't bored.
It's weird because at some point, apparently, WWE changed to the New Japan way of doing things, and they decided to exclude women completely from. They're like, oh, New Japan does it. We can not have women on our show too. Even though Sarah Logan and was it Dana Brooke again or Liv Morgan? Maybe it was Liv Morgan this time.
They had a match on main event.
They had a match on main event. Why don't you just scrap that match and have a match So like all the women are off in Australia apparently,
Or a lot of them.
Becky's in L.A.
Yeah.
Doing some for ESPN. Why not Skype her in?
I know. At least have a segment.
At least the optics are really bad.
They are.
The optics are really bad.
Kristen Ashley on Twitter had a list of the women who aren't in Australia, and there's about 6, 7, 8 of them.
Right.
That are available. Apparently, 2 of them had a match on main event. So you bring up a good point. I meant to mention that too. There's not a single women's segment on the entire show. That's bad.
Not a single women's match. Not a segment.
Not even a segment. Nothing.
Not even a segment. Not even a reminder that the women's division exists. I mean, on a night where I thought was pretty cool, like the tag team division main evented. The Street Profits, after all this time of putting them on the show just as a way to hype Raw, they actually got a main event slot. I thought this was especially cool given that Angelo Dawkins had been in developmental for, I think, was it 7 years?
7 years,
It was 7 years. And he got to debut in the main event on Raw. I thought that was really cool. Everybody got to see finally what they could do. And I thought the main event was terrific. I thought that the episode in general was actually pretty decent. Like, we got some really good matches. They spotlighted guys like the Street Profits. They spotlighted Humberto Carrillo, which I thought was fantastic. I mean, his first match is against the Universal Champion. Oh, that was terrific. And he's watching that Andrade Sin Cara match.
Yeah.
So maybe we're gonna get an Humberto Andrade feud, which could be cool. So there's all sorts of cool stuff going on. But then it's like you're sitting there, you're like, this seems off.
Yeah.
By the end, and what there was no women. It was bizarre.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
So yeah, I think it was Tom Collahue on Twitter said that his source in the WWE said that, and I don't know if like the women said that there's no pay-per-view to build for the women, so they're focusing on Crown Jewel. Which is fine. I
mean, you should focus on your pay-per-views, but that shouldn't be your sole focus.
Shouldn't be the exclusive focus.
No.
I mean, the optics is just, your company right now is not, in terms of viewer perception, in terms of your ratings, you're not doing great, man.
No.
It's obvious that right now, SmackDown on Fox, so much marketing behind it. It's obvious that your audience is no more than what you're getting on Raw every week, because those same people are tuning into SmackDown because it's kind of its own thing.
At best, 2.5 million people.
2.5 million people. That's the limit. That's as many people are going to watch. The Rock can bring in about 1.5 million more, apparently.
Yeah, that's something else. Stone Cold maybe 1 million. Maybe.
Right, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So you've got some legends you can bring out every once in a while. We got that last night with Ric Flair. Was he or was he not inebriated, Larson?
He was just intoxicated on excitement because he was really into it.
That could be.
It's not like like his promos, especially over the last 20 years, made a whole lot of sense. Regardless,
did you guess the Drew, or did you guess the Drew thing at all?
No, but like all things, I don't watch the Raw till the West Coast feed, so I already knew who it was before it started.
Did you? If you didn't know going in that it was Drew and that it was your guess of Andrade, which I thought was a solid guess, that made sense. The way he was talking about Drew leading up to him coming out would have been hilarious if it was Andrade.
Yeah, but
this guy's stealing kisses all the women here in town.
Yeah.
Hold on, Nate. That's gonna
be pretty funny if you'd come out there and say, and said,
this guy's
we got to turn to family in times like these. Here's my future son-in-law, Andrade.
Exactly. That'd be great.
That'd be pretty cool.
Anyways, man, let's just go ahead and do this. I got my iPad out because I can't use my ticking time bomb computer. I'm just gonna sit here and draw Raw.
There you go.
Let's see here.
Going in.
Yeah, that's good. Let me bring up the notes.
Yes. So the show opened up. Let's get started here.
Yeah, please do.
Ric Flair came out. He dropped a promo how he wants to destroy Team Hogan at the Crown Jewel. Everybody's calling it the Crown Jewel now.
So all over the map, dude.
He's always been all over the map, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And he says, I got one more member of my team to introduce. He's been around getting kisses from all the ladies in Cleveland.
Woo.
Here he is. Come on out.
Woo.
And it's Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Great pick by the Nature Boy.
Fantastic.
Hell of a time to return for Drew. He is last member of Team Flair. And then he drops a promo. Brief. I don't remember what he said, though.
He said, I just remember, I always love this line that he uses. What you're about to see is going to be uncomfortable.
What you're about to see is shocking.
Right. What you're about to see is shocking. And then pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, here comes Ricochet.
So they have a match. This match lasted like 20 minutes.
There was at least 3 matches that they gave a lot of time. It was great.
It was terrific.
Actually, the only match I had issue with, why was Aleister Black selling for
I don't know.
that Reynolds guy?
I don't know. That was bizarre. That
Did
was
he
seriously
did
bizarre.
dude actually hit him with like a real shot that actually upset Aleister?
I think he might.
Because after he was down there like selling for a bit, he came out with a flurry.
Yeah. It was that like what was the shot in the corner, right?
Yeah.
I was in the kitchen. I was like cleaning up, and I look over. I'm like, oh man, number one, I don't know, man. I think you've kind of turned me against the whole squash match idea. You've talked about this quite a bit about how like what's the point of a squash match? I think in certain cases, like last week on AEW, I think it worked for LAX because you're defining their character, and this is how they treat normals, right? And then, but Aleister Black, you've already had him beat some like some roster members.
Yeah, I mean he beat Cesaro.
He beats
twice.
yeah, exactly. He's fought some actual roster members, and then you wheel out, tons of fun. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? And then tons of fun gets in some offense. What the heck? What's going on there?
Anyways, this Drew Ricochet match is really good. Drew looking great after being the shelf for 2 months. Comes out on fire. He's in control early until Ricochet drop kicks Drew off the apron. Follows with a great Rey Fenix-esque somersault suicide dive.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah.
That was fantastic. Go to commercial. Come back. Drew once again has the upper hand briefly with like an armbar headlock type deal. Ricochet, though, does escape. Delivers some chops to Drew. Ends up eating a boot. And then the action's still going on. And then we do a Ric Flair interview ringside. And he's kind of confused where SmackDown was on Friday. He says, where is it? Kansas City? Cleveland? And then I think she says, we're in Cleveland right now. He goes, no, I meant on Friday.
He said, yeah. He was like, where are we? Where are we? And then she's like, we're in Cleveland. And he's like, no, I mean Friday.
Yeah. Anyways, he's calling out Hogan. He's telling Hogan to show up on SmackDown. After that, Drew goes at the top rope, try to drop an axe handle on Ricochet. Instead, he's a drop kick. What?
Sorry, what did you think of the mid-match interview idea? Like, just do it.
Oh, that's fine.
You think that's cool?
That's fine.
I kind of liked. I mean, they don't have a lot of managers. No, but I kind of like the idea of it.
And the whole time, like Flair and Drew were kind of talking back and forth. Then at one point, Ricochet jumps off the top rope. Drew just completely clubs him with like a forearm in midair. Follows with a crucifix buckle bomb and one of the nastiest power bombs I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Just deadlift him up. All sorts of torque.
Yeah.
It was nasty. Only gets him a 2 count, though. Ricochet acts like he's going to pick up Drew. Can't. There's a little more action. Eventually he does. Hits a Death Valley driver. Goes to the top. Hits a shooting star press. Gets a 2 count. Then he goes back up for a 630. Drew gets out of the way. Ricochet goes for recoil. Drew just tosses him from the ring and then throws him into the ring post. Back in the ring. He hits Claymore for the win.
Boy, that Claymore had extra stank on it.
Yeah, man. Part of it is Ricochet knows how to sell. He knows how to throw his body around. And then after the bell, Drew just completely decimates Ricochet, culminating in a reverse Alabama slam on the ring steps.
That looked ugly as... Boy, that looked nasty.
Too. Yeah, I don't know how.
Oh, man.
I don't know these guys protect themselves sometimes.
Oh, boy.
After that, we get a OC Street Profits recap from what happened last week, followed by an OC interview where AJ says, Street Profits, you do know that the smoke is illegal here in Cleveland.
What a lamer.
But Luke Gallows is super upset about it.
He wants to smoke, man.
Yeah.
Smoke weed
every day. And he says, Cleveland sucks.
Yeah, boo. So anyways, what is this new roster?
Yeah, they had a little montage of all the new additions to the Raw roster.
This is cool. They took advantage of last week, the showcase for the draft. Everybody, they got their wins. So Buddy Murphy, what is it, Aleister Black, maybe
Andrade was in there.
Andrade, yeah. So we
get excited about new members of Raw roster. Yeah, after that we had a Aleister Black promo. He wasn't wearing a suit. He wasn't wearing a shirt.
I'm naked in my room, wondering who's gonna walk in and pick a fight with my exposed butthole. And that person ended up being Jason Reynolds. And he put up a little bit of a fight.
A little bit. There was that one sequence you mentioned earlier in the corner where, like I said, I just thought maybe Jason Reynolds got a little bit of too stiff of a shot, and maybe it actually Alistair needed a moment to collect himself or something.
Not supposed to be affecting me.
Because afterwards, like that knee he gave him looked stiff, and that black mask looked like it caught him on the chin a little bit. Anyways, Alistair won.
The thing about Alistair's offense, though, is that if you're not like really good at selling, like you're gonna get hit.
Yeah, if you're not good at
Knowing
making
where
sure
it's
when to
gonna
turn
be.
your head and stuff. Yeah,
Because God, he's doing that black mask basically blind.
yeah.
And like he knows where your head's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You need to know where your head's supposed to be.
It's like stunt training where that punch is coming in, you got to turn with it.
Right. Yeah.
And if you don't, you're going to get hit flush probably. Sort of like Kenny with his V triggers.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
If,
God, yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to, or even if you do know what you're doing, timing's a little off.
Yeah.
You can have a broken nose or worse. Get almost knocked out like Evil did a couple years back during the G1.
Boy, that was rough.
That was rough.
And then Kenny deadlifted him up and gave him a
One-winged angel, I know.
Angel. Oh, God.
I know. After that, we had an AOP promo. The stuff's all great.
Yeah, it is. They talked about being drafted to Raw.
Signed. They weren't drafted. Signed.
Signed to Raw.
They say it wasn't a move to Raw. It was a move away from, take them away from SmackDown. They're going to bring violence to Raw.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was cool.
That was cool. This was really awkward. Next, Rusev was on the King's Court. And Lawler was going on about how marriage problems should be kept private. But Lashley and Lana, and Rusev for that matter, are all public figures.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. But then Lana and Lashley have made their affair public, so I guess it's all public now.
I guess so, yeah. Rusev was like super good guy, Rusev.
He was, because he was like, I got beef with Lashley, because in his words, he poisoned Lana's brain, and for that he will be crushed, to quote Rusev. But then he says, because he's still wearing his wedding band.
People were wedding Lawler too, and he says, "Hey, come on now, buddy.
He's
This
a
is
Hall of
Hall of
Famer.
Famer."
Yeah. And then he said he hopes in the end to still end up happily ever after with Lana.
Yeah, what a sucker, man.
I know.
What a sucker.
I know.
She seems like a turd, and he seems like a swell guy.
I know.
He needs to go maybe find a lovely Bulgarian woman who will appreciate him, and he can appreciate her, and they can have lots of sex with each other. And that's what he needs, not Lana. See her all over Instagram flaunting her body.
Just last night, like in the second segment, when he busts in on the restaurant they're in, and the whole time she's just screaming, "Send him to jail! Send him to jail! Send him to jail!"
Man, there's no coming back from that.
How do you expect to have happily ever after your
always-
philandering wife is yelling at you to go to jail?
You're always gonna have that. You're always gonna have that between you. Hey, remember that time you get into an argument over the dishes? Remember that time I busted in that restaurant? And you're talking about sending me to jail? Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
You're a crap woman.
Well, or just, hey, she says, "Hey, Rusev, can you do the dishes?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Can you not cheat on me?" I kind of feel like Rusev has like many get out of jail cards.
Yeah.
If they were to reconcile.
And it ain't gonna stop anytime soon.
No.
I think somebody on Twitter pointed out, if they have this match, so like they're not gonna have a match at Crown Jewel. Obviously, they're both on Team Hogan and Team Flair.
Yeah.
But like that's gonna be their story at Crown Jewel, and Lana's not even gonna be allowed to be at Crown Jewel, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do appreciate that the entire time Rusev is calling him Bob Lashley.
Yeah.
And not Bobby Lashley.
That was
That's
great.
pretty
Yeah,
fun.
because Lashley shows him the Tron. He and Lana are at dinner. He said he's going to take care of Lana's needs. And Lana says, "Hey, Rusev, you recognize this restaurant?" "No, you don't, because you never took me here."
Yeah, her like big dream was to go to that restaurant. Just want to go to Outback, man.
I know.
Yeah, I don't like Outback, man.
And then Lashley and Lana are like, "I love you."
That was fun. Lashley wanted to laugh when he said, "I love you."
Every segment he's in with her, he just wants to laugh.
I
You
know.
can tell, and it's charming.
It is.
Because it makes him seem happy. Like legitimately happy, because he just wants to laugh the whole time. Anyways, Rusev says, I want to deliver a message to Lashley, but I'm going to do it directly. And he storms out of the ring.
Yeah, so I went to the restaurant was like across the street from the stadium.
Or something.
The arena, rather.
But why didn't Lana and Rusev, live in Nashville, I think?
Oh, is that right?
If Total Divas to be believed.
I had to figure they live in Orlando.
But why would the restaurant sure dreamed of going to be in Cleveland of all places?
Well, that's where the show was.
I know,
Yeah.
but of all the restaurants in all the cities in all the country, that's the one restaurant she really dreamed of going to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's so stupid.
It is stupid.
It's so unbelievably stupid. Let me ask him. Do you think somebody would bring that point up in the writers' room, and the counter to it is, yeah, this is stupid. That's what it's supposed to be. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, it's entirely
it wouldn't
possible.
surprise me. It's like, well, this is goofy.
And I feel like Lashley's the only one treating it with a level of sincerity and seriousness that it deserves.
Lashley is like the Rusev in the Rusev Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, totally.
Summer
He's the only
Rae.
one that seemingly realizes, understands how ridiculous it all is.
Yeah.
And is enjoying how ridiculous it is. I understand Rusev's in a tight spot because they're trying to get him over as a babyface by being this kind of heartbroken dude.
Rusev, I feel like Rusev is going along with it, but he's not entirely enthusiastic about it.
Oh, yeah, that's plainly obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we had Andrade versus Sin Cara. Long match. This was good stuff.
It was good stuff.
Zelina Vega had a promo in advance of the match.
Yeah.
Where she
explained what Sin Cara meant.
Yeah. Man without a face.
Yeah, without a face. Yeah. And then she talked trash about Sin Cara, put over her man Andrade. We get a shot of Humberto Carrillo in full entrance gear, but also with the long sleeve T-shirt underneath. So I wonder if he's hanging out backstage, and so it said, "Oh, we need you for this." Well, I need to get dressed. Just put your cape thing on.
Yeah. Well, should I take off the? No.
Just put your cape.
We
thing
need
on.
you right now.
15 seconds.
We have no time for you to take off your
all right,
shirt.
All right. Fair
Put
enough.
on the cape.
So he puts the cape on, has to stand awkwardly by
Frank
that
Costanza's
monitor.
Backstage right now.
Right before commercial break, Sin Cara takes out Almas with moonsault off the top rope ringside. Come back from commercial. More aerial offense from Sin Cara. You get a springboard crossbody followed by a lion salt. Good stuff. Andrade gets the upper hand briefly until Sin Cara drops him with a Death Valley driver. Falls with a swanton. Misses. And then Almas hits a drop toe hold on him. Sends him to the turnbuckle. Falls with his running knees to the corner, but Sin Cara evades, goes for a head scissors, which he had hit earlier in the match. Almost blocks it. Sorry, Andrade blocks it. Hits him with the face buster. Follows that up. 3 amigos, gets a 2 count. They're on the top rope. Sin Cara setting up for a superplex. Almost knocks him to the apron. And then Sin Cara, they're kind of brawling, jockeying position up there. Sin Cara hits a sunset flip powerbomb, only gets a 2 though. 2. Sin Cara goes up top. Andrade knocks him off. Then he finally hits the double knees in the corner. Goes for the pin. Sin Cara kicks out. Almost charged. Sorry, Andrade. I write almost because it's easier to write that. It's shorter for note taking.
Everybody knows who Almas is.
Andrade charges towards Sin Cara. Sin Cara sends him over the top rope, and that was a nasty bump that Andrade took. And then Sin Cara followed with a slingshot Hurricane Rana. Zelina Vega then, as Sin Cara is putting Andrade back in the ring, distracts Sin Cara while he's on the apron. This allows Andrade to kind of drop Sin Cara over the top rope, throat first, and then Vega hit this cool move, this handstand, handspring Hurricane Rana off the apron.
Awesome.
That was great.
That was great.
Sin Cara back in the ring. Andrade hits a hammerlock DDT for the win. He gets a W. It's awesome. We go backstage for an interview with Humberto. He talks about the match. Says that Andrade is going to be a future Universal Champion. Says, when I beat Andrade for the championship, I'm going to be the best champ. He's not going to play with fire like Seth Rollins.
Yeah. I like this, man. Humberto's so good.
He is good.
Yeah, could you imagine how this dude's gonna be if his trajectory continues at 33? Holy crap! He's only 24 years old.
I know, he's
So
super young.
good. He's so good.
He's super young.
Yeah.
After that, Street Profits promo talks trash about the OC.
And then apparently Angelo Dawkins is withholding the information as to who their partner is from Montez Ford. He said it's a surprise. And Montez runs down a list of potential names.
Yeah.
People it could be. For example, he says he names some people they've met over the past couple months. Booker T. Mm-hmm. What were some of the names he mentioned?
Who was the first one he said?
He made Ric Flair. He said was one.
Yeah.
Why did Angelo should have been like, dude?
No, he's super old, man.
That guy's way old.
Yeah, he's way too
no
old.
No bumps for him until Crown Jewel.
He mentioned Booker T, and there was one other, I thought.
Yeah. In any event.
Anyways, it's a mystery.
None of those people.
We're it, but it's a mystery.
Yeah, Montez was just totally trusting of Angelo Dawkins. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be surprised. Maybe he likes surprises.
Yeah, he could like surprises. He might really like surprises. Next, we see R-Truth emerging from the inside of a production trailer. Mm-hmm. He walks out into the arena itself. He runs into Samir Singh.
But Sunil rolls him up for the win, and R-Truth is like, man, I think I'm seeing double. Or there's two of them.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
But he got freaked out.
He did.
He doesn't watch 205.
No, he does not. I guess he's not alone in that.
Or Raw a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no. Next, Viking Raiders versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. There was a really awkward Ryder and Hawkins interview at Gorilla Position.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I feel like they probably have chemistry in, like, real life. They don't really seem that much.
It almost seemed like it was intentionally awkward.
Man, you're giving some people credit.
Maybe. Because the dialogue was really awkward.
Well, that's just bad writing.
Yeah. We're just happy to get opportunity.
Think we'll get pyro? Maybe. There's one way to find out.
And then they walk through the curtain and there's no pyro.
Yeah. Like, were they supposed to be? Is that something they do on main event?
What, pyro?
No, I know. Pyro on main event. Is that something that they talk about?
I have no idea.
While they're on main event.
I don't watch main event.
Neither do I.
So I don't know.
Maybe chat will know.
Does anybody in chat watch main event?
I am not even looking at chat. I have no access to chat right now.
And do they mention pyro on there? I'm curious now.
Well, we're on normal latency. It's going to be like 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, anyways.
So, yeah, not much of a match. Viking Raiders are just manhandling Kurt Hawkins.
For the most part. There's a little stretch there where Ray Rowe was getting beat up a little bit.
Who got more offense in their respective matches? Ryder and Hawkins or Reynolds?
Well, Ryder and Hawkins did.
I think Reynolds got some actual offense in.
Yeah, I know.
So anyways, Ray Rowe is tossing around Kurt and Zach to start the match. Hansen hits one of his big suicide dives, tags Rowe back in. Ryder gets the upper hand with a jawbreaker.
Yeah, so Ryder and Hawkins have their pan for a bit. Eventually, Ray Rowe clubs Zach with a forearm, gets a tag to Hansen. He clears house, does all his move, the cartwheel stuff, all that. Eventually, Rowe slams Hansen onto Kurt. Zach breaks up the pin. This angers Ray Rowe.
Yeah, man.
He drops Zach with a huge knee.
Yeah.
And then the War Raiders win with Viking experience.
That's a really terrific. It's funny. It looks great every time they do it, but for whatever reason, this time, maybe because Hawkins is actually a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
Like, there was just extra on it. Like, he came down hard. Mm-hmm. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
War Raiders, you're still... Well, this wasn't even for the tag championship.
No.
But, yeah.
Still,
they look great with those titles, though.
They do.
They're solid. That's great.
They're a good team.
War
Anyways,
Machine's awesome.
They are awesome. Hanging with War Machine.
Hanging with War Machine, man.
Next, Lashley and Lana at the restaurant again. Manager, or one would assume, says, hey, I'm about to ask you to leave. Here, Rusev is on his way. He's got trouble on his mind.
That manager's not watching Raw, dude.
And Lashley says, Rusev doesn't have the balls to come here.
Yeah.
Go to commercial, come back. Guess who shows up?
Rusev. Bob, that's it, Bob. No more from you.
Rushes into the restaurant, starts attacking Lashley. Happens to be like 15 security guards there working at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Make
Most restaurants don't have any security guards.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a bunch there. Break it up. They escort Rusev out. The whole time Lana's all, send him to jail!
Send him to jail!
Send him to jail! Rusev, send him to jail!
Get back over here, Lana! Oh.
Just screaming at him.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley's laughing. After that, Rey Mysterio comes to the ring, drops a promo.
This is cool, man.
This
is so good.
Rey's doing great promo work these days, man.
This is like really, really good stuff.
It's really heartfelt. He said, he
this
thinks
whole segment was actually really good.
It was good. I thought Shelton Benjamin especially was wonderful.
I know. I can't wait to talk about him.
So Rey comes out and he says, thank you, everybody, for the warm wishes, the thoughts towards our family, the Mysterio family, to him, to Dominic. He says, I want to thank you all. Says that you are all my family.
It was mi familia.
Yeah. And then he calls
Pero Brock is a cabrón.
Calls him a bastard, I know.
And a bastard.
A bastard. And this Paul Heyman shows up with the Titantron, and it's like, I wonder, Ray, if you would say all this stuff if Brock was here, but he can't be here.
That's a good Paul Heyman.
He's been drafted to SmackDown. And he says, I'm going to deliver a message to you, Ray.
I just like that Paul was talking some Espanol as well.
I know. He says, I'm going to deliver a message to you, Ray, and goes on about how great Brock is, and then Ray interrupts him. Yeah, what do you say?
Oh, Ray interrupted Paul.
Yeah. He says, I got a message for you to get through your big fat head or something like that.
Yeah.
Because Paul said, I got something to tell you to get through your thick skull. Something like that. And then Shelton Benjamin comes down the ring.
Yeah. Now, you and I both know, but maybe some people don't know that Shelton and Brock are legitimately pretty close.
Yeah. They both went to the University of Minnesota.
Either Brock or Shelton is one of they're each other's kids' godfathers.
I think that might be the case. Yeah. Shelton Benjamin's like, how does Kane get a title shot? He shows up after you get beat up, Ray. Mm-hmm. Stands up to Brock, and he earns a title shot.
Yeah.
And he says, you were talking a bunch about family, Ray. I'll let you know this. I know Brock better than just about anybody here, except for maybe Paul Heyman. Mm-hmm. Brock is my family. Mm-hmm. And he goes on about how they went to the University of Minnesota. Shelton trained Brock, all that kind of stuff. And he says, I'm going to test a theory. I want to see what happens if I start pushing you around. Do I get a title shot? And he starts pushing him. It's like, what is this? Is this a U.S. title shot?
Yeah.
Push him, slaps him a little bit.
Yeah.
It was great.
Ray is just trying to de-escalate things.
Yeah.
He has no problem with Shelton.
No, he's got a bum arm.
He's like, dude, come on, man. But he's not like shy. He's just like, come on, like, be cool. Like, this has nothing to do with you. Just
he
cool.
wasn't exactly,
I have expected him to like drop him with a freaking run or something.
Yeah, I know. And then Shelton's like, where's your friend? Where's your family at? Mm-hmm. He says Godfather in Spanish.
Yeah, Padrino or something like that.
Yeah, he says, where is he? He's going to come down here, and eventually Kane's music hits, and Shelton's realized that he might have just made a mistake.
This was the first time I actually heard Cain Velasquez's music.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's got like a little Latin flair to it. I think it's really cool.
So Kane comes down the ring. Shelton, now it's his turn to try to de-escalate things a bit, but he does try for a double leg takedown. Kane fends it off, tosses him around the ring a little bit, puts him in a sleeper, and then just sends Shelton out of the ring.
You know, man, the one misfire in this segment was the TV direction, because once Kane had him on the ground, I understand you want to hide maybe what Vince perceives as weak-looking work punches. And so, but like the constant cutting over and over and over again is not helping matters.
No.
Like, you can still observe what the punches look like.
Yeah.
It's just you're getting, nauseous doing it.
I know.
And I really wish they would have just look, man, the punches in real life sometimes, like shoot punches in MMA, don't look all that great in the first place. Sometimes they don't look all that bad.
Yeah.
So no, this is cool. I liked it. I thought Kane was good. I think that, I really appreciate. The thing is, like, I have to try to separate because they're both happening at Crown Jewel, and they put Kane immediately in like a big money spot. I kind of wanted what I would prefer. What I want to see is like what's going to happen with Kane after the Brock stuff.
Yeah,
he seems like he's really happy. He really is interested in being there. He's playing up, what he is. I think pretty darn well.
Yeah, my concern is we've seen, like, I'm worried and actually somewhat convinced at this point, although I hope my mind has changed or I'm proven wrong, that they probably went to Kane and says, based on the story we're telling, and this makes sense, we want you to tailor your offense in this direction for this Crown Jewel match. Because we saw him do some pretty cool stuff in his 2 AAA matches. Like, I don't expect him to be doing any Hurricane Ranas.
No, and I would love for him to get to that point, but I also really feel like the AAA stuff was stuff that maybe was designed for that moment exclusively. Like, he wouldn't know how to incorporate that into an overall repertoire. It was, hey, we're going to do this one spot.
Well, I mean, he could with repetition.
Where you can do this. Yeah, but that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, obviously.
That takes a lot of time.
I mean, he's been at the Performance Center for weeks now, training and stuff. But I'm just guessing, based on the story they want to tell, they're really going to simplify his offense to incorporate it probably better into the overall story they're telling.
I think
him
it
and
goes
Brock.
beyond, dude. I think you're right, but I think it also goes beyond that. We are seeing WWE desperately try, for whatever reason, and for better or for worse, to be more sports centric. Like, I know Meltzer mentioned this, so I'm not like the first person to have this thought, but like when they interviewed Flair during the middle of the match, apparently that's what they've been doing during UFC matches these days. I have not seen that personally, but apparently they'll interview cornermen in UFC matches, and that's apparently the inspiration behind that.
I mean, it goes back further to baseball managers getting interviewed during games.
Yeah,
usually it's
yeah.
during
The NBA games, same.
yeah,
they do,
coaches,
they do
but
that
usually
now.
it's at stops and stoppages in play.
Yeah,
not usually during the action.
I mean, Vince has seen what, the power of a Ronda Rousey, and I think Ronda Rousey is a bigger name than Kane, but Kane's a name, and he sees like that there is a market, there is room for former MMA people specifically to come in and sort of lend the MMA credibility to it. So that is totally what they're going to tailor. Yes, I would love for him to continue to develop at the Performance Center and do some lucha stuff, and I'm sure Kane would love to do that stuff because that's what he's into.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can convince Vince to say, hey, I want to open up my repertoire a bit. But what Vince says generally is what goes.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, look, man, and this sucks because I'm not going to watch Crown Jewel, but I'll actually watch that match after the fact if I find out that Kane drops, Brock with a Hurricane Rana or something.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
He does a tope of some sort.
I'm going to grab my phone really quick. What
Okay.
happened? Go ahead and just talk
Next,
about
we had a
that.
Seth Rollins interview. Charlie asked him if the Fiend has gotten inside his head.
Oh, man. Seth he's got all the words down, but his demeanor, he walked into the shot with a giant goofy grin on his face. And then he goes on to talk about how Bray Wyatt, when you face the Fiend in the ring, you're changed forever, which is something that we've talked about.
Yeah.
But it don't seem like it.
Yeah, no. So he says that maybe I've gotten inside the Fiend's head. He mentions once you stepped inside the head of the Fiend, you're changed forever. And then he kind of zones out, looking off camera. He sees somebody. He walks over. It's Humberto Carrillo. He's lost the long sleeve T-shirt. And then he goes on to lectures Humberto about what it means to be a champion. He says sometimes being champ means you got to do the tough thing if it's the right thing, referring to burning down the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
And then Seth says, "You're new here. How about you have your first match?" Oh, he said, "No, I admire that you want to be champion. It's good to have aspirations, I guess. Why don't you have your first match here on Raw against the champion right now?"
I thought this was actually pretty cool. I like this little bit between him and Humberto. I do think that Seth should be more freaked out. Like, for example, at the end of that match, he hits that curb stomp. He should have been like, okay, is this actually going to work this time?
Yeah, no. I know. I mean, there was like instances. We don't really see Seth talk trash during matches anymore.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're kind of going halfway with the story of him not exactly being the good guy that we all thought he kind of was. Like, he's going towards a darker direction. But that shouldn't just be him being it shouldn't just be him being a bit more aggressive, because he was in this match.
Yeah.
And talking a bit of trash, which he did in this match. We're not getting the sense of any real psychological scars forming over anything involving the Fiend. He's not looking over his shoulder all the time.
Well, the flip side of that, dude, is
let me say this real quick. If we got the idea that his happy face was a put on, that would be something else. But I'm not getting that feeling. I'm just getting there's this weird vacillation between, hey, I'm gonna be good guy, babyface Seth. Oh, I got to do this line, hit this particular story beat about the Fiend changing you. Well, I'll do that, and at that moment I'll seem intense, but then I'll go back to being.
I'll put it. Well, my thing is this, and I'm not optimistic that this is the point, but if the changes that you have noticed, him talking more trash and being a bit more aggressive in the ring, if that is sort of the initial steps that he's taking, that will ultimately lead to an even more dramatic turn in his character, then I'm fine with taking a baby steps route.
I am too.
If that's the case, if those things are an actual cognizant change, and him and Paul Heyman and Bray Wyatt are like, okay, I'm going to start going in that direction, but it's going to start off in this first match with Humberto. I'm going to be a little bit more. I'm not sure that the idea is they're going to be that they would be that subtle with it. So that might just be Seth doing something different on his own.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, hey, here's some baby steps to get to that point eventually. That's cool.
Yeah.
If it's not that, then I don't know why he'd be doing it.
Yeah, I don't know either. It doesn't feel like there's a cohesive vision of the direction they're taking Seth. Because it seems sentence by sentence at times that there's different motivation.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
There doesn't seem like be a clear through line, the motivation of his character right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, next we got Seth versus Humberto. Humberto starts off fast with a roll-up attempt, some arm drags, some good back and forth. Then Carrillo hits a moonsault on Seth, gets a 2, and then Seth sends Carrillo ringside, hits a suicide dive, tosses him to the barricade, and suplexes him on the floor. It's like a level of physicality we don't often see from Seth this early in the match. Mm-hmm. We're back from commercials. Seth's in control, and he's talking a bunch of trash to Humberto. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, though.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's like, is this all you got?
Oh, yeah.
You want to be champ someday? Is this all you got?
I wonder if that seems more like he was watching, was it The Great Santini?
Oh, maybe.
Robert Duvall's clowning his son.
And then Humberto makes a comeback with the jawbreaker. Jawbreaker is like the key to comebacks last night. There's a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. Then a corkscrew tope over the top rope. Puts Seth back in the ring. Goes for missile drop kick. Seth evades it. Hits the Falcon Arrow. Gets a 2. Humberto goes for a Hurricane Rana. Seth catches him. Hits a buckle bomb followed by a super kick. That only gets him a 2. And then Seth sets up for a stomp. Humberto avoids it. Rolls up Seth. Gets a 2 count. Humberto hits a huge moonsault off the top rope. That gets him a 2 count. Goes for another. Went to the well once too often, though. Seth gets his feet up and then hits the stomp for the win. Seth leaves, and he comes back with the belt. And you're worried, is he going to... Is he going to hit him?
Ooh.
Is he going to punch him?
Ooh.
No. Offers a handshake.
Yeah, I wonder whose idea it was. I wonder if Paul Heyman's a big fan of Humberto Carrillo. I wonder if Seth
Seth just want to have a match against him.
Maybe. I love that. I really like this match. It was 10 minutes, and man, it felt like it could have been longer. Like they packed a lot into it. The crowd really got a feel for who Humberto Carrillo is. I think Humberto Carrillo's his promos, I think, have always been very consistent with who he is as a competitor. He's a guy who's young, but he's not inexperienced. He's young, but he's not going to, cede any ground to anybody else, even a veteran. Mm-hmm. And I think he's absolutely terrific. And if Seth Rollins was involved with, hey man, I want to have a match with this kid and really give him a spotlight.
Yeah.
If he's taking on the kind of role that we kind of think Daniel Bryan has, where, hey, I want to do what I can to elevate these guys, then I think that's terrific, and I think he should be applauded for that.
Yeah. Next, we have R-Truth walking around backstage with the ref. He sneaks up on Samir Singh, rolls him up, but the ref doesn't count. He says, "That's the wrong guy."
It's the wrong guy, dude.
And then Sunil turns around, grinds his hips at him.
He's got that 24/7 title on, and he's like, as he starts to run away, he's doing the little dance where he's got his little, he's doing like the,
it's pretty great.
It's pretty
hilarious. The Singh brothers run off.
And then R-Truth says, there are two of them.
So there are 2 of them. And then finally, our main event, Street Profits taking on the OC. OC come out first. AJ drops a brief promo. And then the Profits make their in-ring debut on Raw. They come out on the stage, but then go down to the crowd to make the proper entrance through the crowd. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Well, then the OC come out. Because the Street Profits come out first, then the OC comes out. Because then AJ drops that promo saying, where's your guy? Oh, he must be an imaginary friend or something.
You sure? Because I had the AJ promo first.
That's how I remember. I just watched it this morning, but
all right.
I could be wrong.
All right. Either way, promo happened and they came.
Because didn't he do that promo while they were in the ring? He was talking to them.
No, maybe you're right. Why would I have it backwards then? That's weird.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. Who cares?
Who gives a crap?
The promo happened. Street Profits came down through the crowd. That's all that really matters.
Yes.
Where's your guy? Where's your third guy?
Where's your guy? He must be imaginary. I don't know where he is. He's scared. I'm scared of your third guy.
Is your third guy Mr. Gillette?
Bob Gillette. Where's Bob Gillette?
Where's Bob Gillette? I'm scared.
So
it's a fun match. About halfway through, I think AJ distracts Montez Ford. and that allows Carl Anderson to toss him from the ring. Then he eats a huge boot from Luke Gallows. And then a running knee off the apron from Carl Anderson. We come back from commercial. Montez Ford is in an armbar from Luke Gallows with like the best damn facial expressions.
Well, it looked like Luke Gallows had like his hand right here. Like,
he had
bringing his eyeball
some
out.
fingers in his mouth, too. And Montez was looking around trying to figure out how to get himself out of the situation. It was great. He tries to fight out of it. He does. However, Gallows gets the upper hand. So there's this back and forth. Is Montez going to get the hot tag to Angelo Dawkins? He tries for it. The OC kind of regains control. Eventually, though, he does get the hot tag to Dawkins. Dawkins clears house. The Profits go for their finish, the Doomsday Blockbuster. So Anderson is on Dawkins' shoulders. Gallows very gingerly removes Anderson from Dawkins' shoulders. During this whole time, Montez is hanging out the top rope. AJ pushes him off right into a Carl Anderson spine buster. That was really cool.
That looked neat, yeah.
And then Carl tosses Ford from the ring. AJ picks him up. The ref sees it, says, AJ, you're out of here. And while he's dealing with that, Kevin Owens comes out.
He's the enforcer.
Yeah. He's the third guy. AJ loses his mind, run towards Owens. Owens intercepts him.
I thought Mabel was going to be the third guy, but no.
No.
It was Kevin Owens.
Drops him with the stunner. Meanwhile, or right after that, Gallows is ringside, watching that all. Ford lays him out with a tope back in the ring. Ford pins Carl Anderson after a frog splash.
Carl Anderson.
Crowd goes crazy. Street Profits win. They go celebrating through the crowd. Montez grabs a baby and starts dancing with it. That baby looks so happy.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even see that.
Oh, the baby was smiling.
I'll have to go back and watch.
It was great.
That's great.
And that's how the show goes off the air.
Yeah.
Huge spotlight for the Street Profits.
Yeah, that's terrific.
I hope they have huge things in the works for them.
I hope so, too. I thought it was really cool to see, like, you can call it they're both in the tag division. It's a tag team match.
Yeah.
Like main event.
Yeah.
Thing. I thought it was really cool.
And it looks like we're getting Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for that U.S. title.
Which is even cooler.
And hopefully they do a better job with that program they did the first time around.
Mm-hmm. Was that over the WWE title? That was over the WWE title?
No, it was over the U.S. title.
Was that over the U.S. title?
Yeah, it was over the U.S. title. That's when Kevin Owens pinned him and AJ just like laid there.
Yeah, no, I know.
All that.
It was terrible. It was like,
I think they might have had two feuds, one for the U.S. and one for the WWE title. Because that second feud, if it was for the WWE title, was really like they had that one finish where Kevin Owens got his leg stuck in the announce table.
Yeah.
And AJ won by count out.
I thought that was all just one feud, wasn't it? That was one feud because remember it was like, oh man, that was a weird finish. Well, the next match has to be better. And then it was that one. And then like they might have had one with like a decently clean finish. But at that point it was like, who cares?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, I'm going to go to the Discord here. You can get access to the Discord via our Patreon.
Yeah.
At patreon.com/Stephen Larson. If you're a YouTube channel member, hit us up. We'll give you a Discord link as well. Greg Morris, with Halloween a week away, what wrestlers do you think give out the best candy and who gives out the worst?
John Cena probably gives out not candy.
Greg Morris speculates, and I think this is true, Britt Baker. Probably gives out, I don't know, is there any Halloween treat you can give? Like, you can't give out apples because everybody's going to think there's razor blades in them.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that exclusively in the 1980s?
I think that's more of an 80s urban legend.
I wouldn't let my child eat an apple from somebody's house.
Yeah.
I don't like Halloween anyways.
She probably gives out like toothbrushes. Little
yeah,
dental kits.
Yeah. What do you think Baron Corbin gives out? Greg Morris here mentions Corbin.
Is there any candies shaped like little skulls?
Oh, yeah. He probably just gives out like disappointment.
Probably. He gives everybody licorice. Not red licorice, though.
Oh, man.
Although, like Good and Plenty's. I love Good and Plenty. Those are good. Luis, I swear how Ric Flair introduced his fifth member, immediately I thought Angel Garza. Lol, but Drew is as good. And also, nice burn by the Nature Boy. Reggie Torian, the 2K20 bug list is a mile long, sent to Larson on Twitter. Sucks because I always put a lot of time in the 2K, but it's not worth the headache this year. And I looked at the screen grabs, and it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. There's 4.
May I see that real quick? I just want to take a look at it.
Yeah. I haven't really looked through any of the issues yet, but I saw there's a lot there.
What the heck?
Inner Circle Bud Ryan says Going in Raw is trying to be the Orange Cassidy of podcasts.
Oh man.
Robert Torres says, "Go Astros." That's right. World Series Game 1 tonight. I guess if my audio on my laptop's not working, I'll be watching World Series tonight rather than being productive.
Man, I gotta stream that. I'm telling you, it's probably hilarious. Probably really frustrating.
Could be.
Hilarious.
Could be.
Hey, so once again this year, I mean, look, we're gonna do something with it. Community creations.
Yes.
What hashtag it friendo? You want to do that?
Okay.
Hashtag it friendo or going in around which one?
Do friendo.
Okay, hashtag it friendo. We only have the PS4 version of the game, so just do that. And at some point we're gonna have a draft, probably in like a month or two. So yeah, but no, I'm gonna check that out. I'd pay more to have like a bunch of glitches in the game as long as it doesn't, stop me from actually playing it. But I love when crazy stuff happens.
I know.
It's freaking hilarious. Big money. On behalf of Maddie, how does it feel knowing that Orange Cassidy, the laziest wrestler in the world, can ship T-shirts faster than you guys? Oh, have I not? I have like 6 of them left, so maybe Maddie's one of those.
No.
But otherwise, I sent a ton of them out.
Nixie, should the SmackDown after Crown Jewel be all women's matches? Yeah. But I guess they're chartering a plane. So the wrestlers on the Crown Jewel card, if they're on SmackDown, they're flying straight from Saudi Arabia to Buffalo so they can be on SmackDown.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they should do... Jesus. Wow.
It's pretty insane, huh?
They should... honestly, what they should have done was that SmackDown should have been like an Evolution special.
I know.
It's like, I know Triple H has said that Evolution 2 is still on the cards. But just have SmackDown be like an Evolution special.
I know. I know.
You think you can't pay Ronda to do a Skype thing, have her call in?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Butts says, do you think they wanted to do a traditional squash match with Aleister Black and Reynolds, but they had to milk time with no women and decided to make it somewhat competitive? That's a possibility. I mean, a bunch of matches went long last night.
Yeah.
That could be.
That's one instance where it probably shouldn't have, though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Ricky Scurvy, just sending some love. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky.
Rich Hardesty, the glitch with Charlotte's figure 4 is hilarious.
Oh, man. You were busy with your... Oh, no, that was hilarious. You've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
There was another one with Dakota Kai and Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
It's off the... It gets... Because you weren't looking at it. It gets off the hook crazy. All of a sudden, Dakota Kai's doing a weird... her legs are bent like this, and she's just pacing back and forth. It's a mess.
Over on the Patreon, with Humberto instantly getting a spotlight on him, what other ways would you have 205 people debut on Raw or SmackDown? Well, Akira Tozawa, he's on Raw. Mm-hmm. He and Ricochet should start a tag team.
I just feel like that's not really doing a lot for Ricochet.
But then they got to have some backstage vignettes that show off how good friends they are and their personalities.
Where's Buddy Murphy?
He's on Raw.
I don't know. How'd you debut Buddy Murphy? Who would you... I'd say Buddy... Aleister Black has said, and they've been doing some dark matches, Aleister Black wants to have a feud with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
So have him be the first guy that actually shows up in that room.
There you go. All right.
Have just cut to Aleister Black's room, but it's Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
I'm in your room. Oh, what you gonna do about that? Piss off, ghost.
Brian Randall says, as a kid, I was enthralled with WWF of the late 80s and early 90s. I was a WWF member and was lucky enough to have an aunt who owned a video store who would get me all the latest pay-per-views. I dropped off by the mid-90s, didn't renew my love till the mid-2000s. What match should I watch from the Attitude Era that you think encapsulates the era as a whole? One match. Wow.
It's got to be from the Attitude Era. It's got to be
Hell in a Cell, Foley, and Undertaker.
So that's on there. I was gonna say a Rock Hogan match,
or that one from WrestleMania 18, or Rock Austin. Well, you don't want to watch Rock Austin WrestleMania 17. The match itself is really good, but the end of it, not as great.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, just watch Survivor Series 98.
Who fought at 15? Was that Rock Austin?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't remember. I remember the 18 being a killer match. What was it, 18 or 19? 19.
19 being really good.
It was a killer match.
Well, 17 was really good. Just the end was, and 19 was good. That was Austin's last match with that 19.
I don't remember how good was 15. Was 15 on it?
It's all right, I think.
Rich the Smash Bro, with both Punk and Triple H hinting at Punk wrestling again, how would they set up a story? And is it too early to count him in as a Rumble participant or Mania possibility? I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. Every week, it seems to be something else with that guy, so I wouldn't rule anything out. How would they set up a story? Man, dude, you want to freaking pop massive ratings? Just have him show up in NXT first. Have him challenge Triple H in NXT, and then he gets a main event. I don't know. But I mean, dude, seriously, if you want to pop massive ratings, for NXT,
that's
have
how
Punk
you can
show
do
up
it
there.
Richard Fitzpatrick, what are your opinions on the Lana Rusev gimmick they're doing right now with Bob Lashley? It's ridiculous. Lashley seems to be pretty much the only one that realized how ridiculous it is and is having fun with it.
Like, if they keep it to like a silly 10 minutes out of a 3-hour show each week, or 5 minutes, I really wouldn't mind. But they had like 2 segments last night. So I don't know. Yeah, it's silly, it's cringy, but I mean, the bottom line is I do find entertainment value out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Edward Economus. Hey guys, with Survivor Series coming up, what were 5 really bad matches in Survivor Series history? I know your favorite is when just a couple years ago when Triple H decided to make a mockery. When Triple H laughed his way through the match.
Horrible.
This dude is already like on the verge of retirement, or he should be.
I know. It was horrible.
And he's got a million things already going on. It's NXT was in the thick of going on, all that stuff.
It was bad.
He puts himself in that Survivor Series match and just makes a big gag out of it.
Yeah, it's a mockery of the whole situation. It was terrible. That's up there. A lot of them in the early 90s were just bad, where they had these random teams just put together for basically no reason.
What was it? Team Cena, but it was really Team WWE. And like Bret Hart was on the team and Cena was on the team, and what was it against Team? Was it Nexus? Did they fight the Nexus?
I don't think that was a Survivor Series. Maybe it was, because the one Bret Hart was on, that was SummerSlam one.
Oh, that was SummerSlam. Okay. James Fletcher, what is your guys' opinion? Oh, okay, never mind. Wait, did you read this one already?
Which one?
What is your guys' opinion on 2K20, and does this prove working for WWE at all is a bad thing?
No, I didn't read that yet.
No, I don't think that proves anything about working for WWE. I think it proves that you shouldn't be rushing a game just to meet a yearly
release
window. I mean, I understand, like, they'd probably have to say, hey, we're going to take a financial hit. And it's not going to matter. Like, in the end, it's not going to matter. Like, 2K21, when it comes out, it's probably going to be vastly better because they will have had the additional time, more people, more resources, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
This is just one of those that they had to suck up and get out there.
Yeah.
But this is what happens. You take a hit to your reputation. Like,
yeah, I know.
Everybody's crapping on it.
I know. Denton Watkins, can Seth figure out where Aleister Black's room is to? Can Seth be the one who figures it out because he found the Firefly Funhouse?
Yeah, he's really adept at he's the architect. He has the blueprints.
It could be, yes. Black Mega Man says, just say Kennel from Hell. Was that a Survivor Series? Don't recall.
Maybe.
That was a bad match. Jose Alaguna, Undertaker saying, happy birthday to my dog. He's won.
Happy birthday. Where's his name?
Dog.
Happy birthday to Dog Alaguna. Happy birthday to Dog Alaguna. I hope you don't hop on the river Stygian before your time. And many more.
Greg Morris, the Royal Rumble is 96 days away. If both Brock and Seth are still champs at Mania, who do you see winning the Rumble? They really should have kept Kevin Owens on SmackDown. Imagine if the Mania match with Brock versus Kevin Owens.
That'd have been good. I'll say this again. It was probably my answer last year. Drew McIntyre. Or it's going to be Roman.
It's probably Roman Brock.
Yeah,
and Drew Seth.
Yeah. I could see that being the case.
Yes.
Let's see here.
Stephen M. Smurf Galloway had a question about why his Matt Chat question wasn't on. I just checked our email and the Patreon post. I didn't see anything. I'll keep looking.
Wong.
So my apologies.
So Wong sort of brings up some points that you were making about Seth's match with Humberto. He says, I loved Raw last night. Highlight for me was during the Carrillo-Rollins match. Rollins had Carrillo in a half Boston Crab. Carrillo got to the ropes, forcing the break. Rollins held the submission for a second too long, and you could see the shock in his eyes over his own actions. He even had a subtle face slap, a self-face slap before jumping back into action. I thought it was fascinating. See, I think that's good. I think that, like, if you're going to, I mean, it has to pay off.
Yep.
You have to pay it off. I wonder if, we've got a couple weeks before Crown Jewel. So, like, next week he elevates it even more.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to Crown Jewel, I guess the point would be he's at the point where he can beat Bray Wyatt cleanly. By being just a bit more of a jerk.
Yeah, I know. But then is that going to lead to a Seth heel turn?
No,
If it doesn't, then what the hell?
No, he'll be justified in doing it because he won clean. But it's not really on his own terms, but it doesn't matter because Vince doesn't care about that stuff.
No. And then be back to square one with The Fiend.
Yeah. Wrestling is a series of moments. It's not a long storyline. And yet they've been doing that forever. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Wrestling's awful.
Well, on occasion they've actually had real stories.
No, wrestling's fun. Yeah, it's just man, you've got like it's a serialized. It's week to week. Like they pride themselves on how long they've been going.
Yeah, I know.
Every single week. That's how it goes. So whatever. Let's see here. Andrew Jocelyn says, I was 90% sure Edge was going to be the Street Profits partner last night to set up a match for Crown Jewel against AJ Styles. According to Edge, he's filming a movie for the next month.
Yeah.
He says, who would have worked better than Owens?
I thought Owens was fine.
Yeah, no, I thought Owens was actually probably the best case scenario. I thought it was, everybody seemed happy that it was Kevin Owens. Even on Twitter, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. But I like Kevin Owens a lot, so.
Let's see here. If there's anything else, let me hop back over to Discord and see if there's any parting shots.
Fair enough.
No.
Nothing.
Although Tezhausen says, I really like podcasts from the couch. It makes it feel more like a conversation. It is very comfortable. I mean, there's something said about being comfortable.
It is comfortable. I'm just still upset about what. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I feel it. I am too. I don't like going places and talking to people, but I got to go to stupid Best Buy.
Yeah. So, Jose Alaguna has one last super chat here. His name is Shaggy. Send him to the River Stygian.
All right, Shaggy, you're such a good boy. I love giving you scratches behind your ear. My powers of darkness will get your tail wagging as you ride into the River Stygian.
That it?
Yes.
All right,
don't jump over this lava, though. Don't jump over the side. I'm going to put a leash on him.
Yeah, don't do
on the boat on the River Stygian.
Black Mega Man, do you think we will see an AEW game sometime soon? Probably within the next couple of years, I would think, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I seemed to think it was going to happen pretty soon, I thought.
I hope whatever it is. I hope it's a glitch fest, man.
Oh, we're getting that already.
Glitchy ass game.
Cool if we had something that actually worked.
No, man, I want to see people freaking out.
Well, we have that now. We can just go get that now.
More of that. I want to see Kenny Omega try to do a V trigger, and then he just
starts. And then he turns into a V.
He starts sinking under the mat. Anyways, so that's it. We're gonna do an overrun from here on the couch.
Yeah.
In a little bit.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll be a casual affair.
Yes, I believe so. No.
But now one of us has to get up and go over there and do that.
Ah, hell. Well, you look like you're trapped, so I'll go ahead and do that.
All right, fair enough.
Anyways, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
We appreciate it.
We'll see you all later. Hopefully we get all these technical issues worked out. Running smoothly on time by the time Thursday rolls around for AEW and NXT recaps. Goodbye, everybody.